guys, welcome to the latest edition of my blog. It's been quite a while since I last posted anything, so there's a few things I can bring you up to speed on. Training has been going pretty well. Last time I posted I was telling you guys about a problem I had with my elbow. That sorted itself out pretty quickly, which was good. It wasn't tendonitis as I said, so that was really good to know. And that worked itself out within probably a couple of weeks after my last blog entry. So training's been going really well. I've been focusing on proper form, not worrying too much about the amount of weight that I'm using, more concentrating on making sure that I'm getting the most tension in my muscles as I possibly can, making sure that I'm utilising the tools in the gym to get the most out of every workout, and as I say, not necessarily worrying about the numbers. The numbers that are important to me are my reps, so I try to aim for 8 good quality reps within my work sets. So I'll do some warm-up sets, typically 15 and then 12 reps on progressively heavier weights. Then I move into my work set and I aim for 8 reps. If I can hit 8 reps or more, I'll always go to failure on that working set. If I can hit 8 reps or more in the next workout, everything moves up. So I'll do slightly more weight on my warm-up sets, and then I'm up a weight on my work set as well, and I'm aiming for 8 reps. So if I can do 5 or 6, great. That gives me some room to move and progress in my work sets until I can get 8 again, and then we go back and move everything up. So that's the way I've been working. It's been working really well, and I've had a great workout partner, a great training partner, a good friend of mine, Mark, who has been an immense help. We have some absolutely fantastic workouts at Body Rush Gym in Norwich. Anyone who's in Norwich, you want a proper hardcore bodybuilding gym, Body Rush is the place to go. We push each other to the extreme. Every working set we go to the max, and we try to get everything out of it, and it's been a revelation. Someone that's generally worked out on their own for a lot of years. I had training partners in the past. Mark though gets it 100%. We're very, very similar in strength. So we're moving the same kind of weights, doing the same sort of reps, which is brilliant. So yeah, he's been fantastic for me, which is great. So thank you, Mark. Body Rush Gym as well. It's just a different atmosphere to. I train at Virgin Active most of the time, and just at Body Rush on the weekends with Mark on a Saturday afternoon. The difference between Virgin Active and Body Rush for me is immense. Not knocking Virgin Active or anyone that trains there. It's a very well equipped gym. It's got everything you would need, but there's just something about a gym like Body Rush where I think you've got much more like-minded people there. If you're trying to really put on some size, or you're very, very dedicated in what you do, it just gives you that little edge, a little bit more encouragement that the environment can bring to you. So if you've got a gym like that where you are and you're looking to really push your training on, just get yourself down there, do one session and see how it goes for you. It might be a bit of an eye-opener for you. Something that I mentioned in one of my earlier blogs when we looked at where I was starting from, some areas that I wanted to work on. Traps was one. So been doing shrugs, obviously pretty much a staple for traps, but I've been supersetting ordinary barbell shrugs with a reverse shrug, which is something new that I've been trying out. And it's basically, if you can imagine being on dip bar, keeping everything absolutely straight, and rather than bending your elbows to drop yourself down, you're pushing yourself up with straight arms, so effectively doing a reverse shrug. So you imagine your traps, actually the bits that we all know as traps, the bits that stick out above your shoulders into your neck, their position allows them to pull your shoulders up. So that's a barbell shrug or a dumbbell shrug. A reverse shrug, if you can imagine, those shrug muscles then come down in a V to your spine, sort of mid-spine, and their role is the opposite. So rather than putting your shoulders up, they'll pull your shoulders down. So if you're doing a movement where you're pushing your body weight up with straight arms, you're effectively lifting your spine up through your shoulders. That's the bottom part of your traps, putting that. So I've been using that technique, supersetting barbell shrugs and reverse shrugs on the dip station, and that's actually made a really big improvement in my trap development, and also the technique and the weight I'm using for my barbell shrugs has improved quite a lot as well. And I think it's having that extra strength in a different part of the trap muscle and not focusing just on that top area is balancing that strength out, which is making ordinary barbell shrugs a lot better for me. So that's one to try maybe. One other thing that was an area for improvement was abs. So I've obviously been doing a lot of ab work. Abs is an absolute must in a physique competition, so it's been an area of focus over the last few months since my last blog. I've developed an ab routine that I will do. It takes about 15 minutes to do one circuit through. It's basically a minute doing one exercise, 10 seconds just to get your breath and get set for the next one. So it's like a huge giant set of different ab exercises, which go from a standard crunch, reverse crunch, plank, side crunches, mountain climbers. There's a whole category of them. I think it's literally something like 12 different exercises I put together. Keeps it very interesting. Nothing lasts too long, but focus and control and that contraction, really focusing on contraction, that's been the thing that's really sort of brought my abs on a little bit, is getting to that point where you contract, you breathe out so you can contract that a little bit more, and then really squeezing it to get every ounce out of every single rep has changed the way I do abs completely. So as I said before, abs wasn't really anything I focused on. Now it's a really big focus for me, so I try to do abs this circuit every other day, and maybe towards the last few weeks of the prep for the competition, maybe do it every day and see how that goes. So that's been my training update really. In terms of cardio, haven't really done too much cardio, been a little bit smarter with my diet. Early on, had a pretty rapid drop in body fat, so didn't go crazy with cardio, didn't want to lose too much fat too quickly and really struggled to maintain that sort of body fat percentage a long way out from the show, so tapered that off, pretty much dropped cardio completely, just kept a clean diet and got down to just below 8% body fat at one point. I'm just a little bit above that at the moment, but I'm now in my last 12 weeks of prep. In fact, tomorrow will be 11 weeks. So diet has really become quite important for me now, and it's not cleaned up even more, but I'm just counting my calories a little bit more, counting my macros a little bit more, so I know what I'm getting in, and being a bit more aware, I guess, of what I'm doing and when. And to help me do that, I've got this new app on my Samsung. So it's an Android app, and it's called Calorie Counter, and it's by Fat Secret. Had a little look around, found various ones. This one really stood out for me. It's been very useful. It's very easy to use. The only downside is it tracks you for breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks. So from a bodybuilding point of view, it's only really got 4 meals that you can use, so I don't worry too much about that though. I just lump things in, and I put anything before like 12 o'clock in breakfast, anything before 5 o'clock goes into lunch, anything after 5 o'clock, go to dinner, and snacks are generally, if I do need to snack or anything I have just before I go to bed, I put in snacks. So it's an easy workaround for me. I know what I'm doing. It's just a really useful tool. It's very, very quick to input new foods, and it's got a huge amount of foods that I eat anyway already in there, and you can find them very quickly. You can quickly add them in, so it's not a very time-consuming thing. So from that point of view, it's been great. So calorie counter by Fat Secret. It's worth a look. One thing that I've noticed over, not recently since I've got into the last week, which is into my diet phase, but I have been eating pretty clean all the time, and I noticed that every so often, probably around about every 3, maybe probably 4 weeks, I was just incredibly hungry, really, really hungry. I'd have one day, and even lasted one day, where I felt I just could not eat enough, and almost got to the point where I didn't care what it was, I just had to get food inside me. Diet went completely out the window. Was eating, chocolate bars, all kinds of rubbish that I wouldn't normally eat. Like I say, just for a day, probably really half a day, because I almost fought it for the first half of the day, and I got to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I just gave in and just started piling in food. But I did notice the following day my body completely changed. I felt much bigger, much fuller, and didn't feel hungry, and slotted straight back into regular diet. And I think you've got to listen to your body, and it will tell you when you're not getting enough food in there, or it will tell you when you've not had enough energy to carry on doing the stuff that you're doing. So listen to your body. If you need to refeed or refuel, call it what you like, make sure you do that, and then get back straight onto the diet that you've been on. So that's been an interesting journey for me in terms of staying clean but not crazy psychotic with the diet, and being able to listen and flex when I need to. I did probably over the 4 weeks prior to the 12-week cut-off, which I've kind of said is going to be my dieting phase. I did start thinking, this is going to be my last chance to do any bulking really. So I did up all of my macros slightly, especially my protein and my healthy fats, and tried to feed as much growth as I possibly could in those sort of 4 weeks. And I think that worked. I felt a lot stronger in the gym, and looking back, I probably regret not doing that a little bit earlier. I think I've got into that mindset of being not too clean, but clean too quick, and restricting what I was eating probably a little bit too much, and without having the app and knowing exactly what I was getting in, and not wanting to be completely obsessed with measuring everything and getting everything exactly right. I probably underestimated how much food I was eating and how much of my macros I was getting, so that 4-week period was again a bit of an eye-opener and a bit of a learning curve for me. So after the competition, when I go back into more of a bulking phase, I will probably continue with the app just to see where I am and make sure that I'm getting enough in to recover properly from my workouts and fuel the growth that I'm hoping to get. So one more thing that comes straight to mind really that I want to talk to you guys out. It might be apparent that I'm a little bit uncomfortable sitting here in this seat. I was going great guns with my deadlifts up until 3 weeks ago. Had a chat with a personal trainer at Virgin who just happened to mention something about head position when you're doing squats and deadlifts, and how keeping a neutral spine relieves pressure on your lower spine. And that's one area where doing squats or deadlifts or stiff leg deadlifts, Romanian deadlifts, any kind of deadlifts really, and squats, is I always felt pressure in my lower back. I had been using a belt. I stopped using a belt. He was basically telling me that using a belt basically contracts your muscles around your spine, and those muscles are there to support you. They're support muscles. They're not large muscles. They're not there to lift the weight. They're to support you while your legs and your larger back muscles move the weight. And basically crunching them all in and compressing your spine isn't really the best thing to do. So I dropped the belt, felt a little bit uneasy at first, a little bit nervy about doing it, but it really worked straight away. I was doing more reps, more weight, which was great. So I haven't worn a belt since, and I was getting personal best after personal best after personal best with both squats and with deadlifts, which was brilliant. I was doing a warm-up set, my second warm-up set, one session 3 weeks ago now, and I felt a tightness in my back, so I was only 4 reps in of my probably 12 reps for that particular set. Felt a tightness in my lower back, so put the weight down, stood up, it got tighter until it was so tight I could barely bend, and since then I've really struggled to do a lot of things, and sitting down is the most uncomfortable thing for me. Up until today, it's started to get a lot better over the last 3 days, and I went back to the gym today. Had a workout, body rush with Mark, chest and biceps, did fantastic personal best on incline dumbbell press, which I was really buzzing about. I was so pleased with how it went. Smashed it, literally. I was really happy. Then went to pick up the dumbbell to pass it to Mark so he could start his set. I think I just took my eye off the ball, literally. Too much back, not enough legs, and just tweaked it again. So I feel like I've gone back maybe 2 weeks in the recovery of this, and sitting down is the biggest problem. And I don't know how long I've been talking to you guys now for, but it's become very uncomfortable now. So I'll be cutting this short in a little while, and probably kind of icing it. The reason I really wanted to bring this up is lower backs. People talk about bending the knees when you're lifting stuff up. Obviously, we should all know that by now with deadlifts. But what I would say is, I made a schoolboy error. I picked up a heavy dumbbell. I wasn't thinking of my back at all. I wasn't thinking of lifting a weight in terms of weight training. I was just picking something up to give to someone else. It is so important to look after your back all the time, whatever you're doing. Whether you're at work, you're doing something, whether you're at home, you're picking your kids up, anything, just have in the back of your mind, if I do this wrong, I'm not picking anything up for a long while. I didn't pick my daughter up for 2 weeks, which was very upsetting for her and for me. And obviously the impact it's had on my training over the last few weeks has been horrendous. I go on holiday in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be probably quite uncomfortable on the plane, to say the least. So guys, really think about your lower back whenever you're picking something up. Just take that half second to think, oh right, lower back, let's do this properly, let's not do anything silly, and stay safe in the gym. I'll chuck some progress pictures on at the end of my blog so you can see what's happened in the last probably 10 weeks since I last done my blog, which is disgraceful. I'm sorry, I should have posted something earlier. And I'm gonna go ice my back and hopefully do some stretches after that and ease this uncomfortable tightness that I now have in my lower back. So like I say, stay safe. And one more thing before I go, I just wanted to do a quick shout out for Jason Gibson, who was in his first men's physique show recently, a few weeks back, and absolutely nailed second place. So big respect to him. Fantastic result. He's now got an invite to the British Championships for the British finals, which will be in October, and I think it's an absolutely tremendous job that he's done. So well done to you, Jason. I hope to be there on stage with you if I can sort myself out, get on stage and nail the top 3. I'll be there, so watch out. Take care, guys. I will post something soon, hopefully, I promise. After the holiday I'll come back and I'll show off my fantastic tan. Take care, guys.